Hi YouTube, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity on Sundays. So, as you recall, I was building out my town, the town that I live in SimCity last week. And I got a proposal for a public works in the region, the international airport you can see here. And my city is sending alloy, but it needs a couple of other resources. It needs metal and it needs oil. And so I have a couple of other cities that I've built out in the region already. As you can see here, this is one of them. And so this one I've decided will have, we'll do the oil because it has a giant oil field in the region. So I thought, okay, this will be a good one to provide oil for the international airport. So all the public works out in the region, you have to kind of cooperatively between different cities provide resources to build them. In the case of the international airport, at least phase 1 requires alloy, metal, and oil, and so I need to provide those. I did not want to build an oil field and a mining facility in my hometown, the one that I'm building to be like my hometown, because we don't have those. We are basically a technology hub and a college town, so I did not want to do that. So instead, I'm doing this. So I'm getting the oil from the one town that I built out, and now here I am going to build another town for providing the metal. So I'm going to make this basically a mining town, and we'll see what kind of ore is available in a moment. I need to build out all the roads first, so then I can be able to place the mining facility, etc. So here I'm just kind of building things out a little bit, putting in the residential and commercial, just basically just making it very, very basic to begin with, and I'll continue building it out later. Have to have our basic power, water, trash, facilities, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's where our ore is, and I just happen to have a road right by it, so it's like, all right, let's go ahead and build our mining facility here. At some point in the future, I may or may not have to build yet another road and another mining facility behind it. We'll see. But for now, we're just going to go with just that one, because I can kind of stretch it back to a degree with the service road and everything. So I might not need to, at least up to a point. All right, so I've got the mining headquarters there, and I'm just kind of adding all of the various buildings that go with it. I also added the smelting facility so that we can produce metal. And they're all complaining that we don't have enough power, and I'm like, okay, you know what, let's get rid of the wind power, because I'm just going to have a ton of turbines in order to power the city, and instead I'm just going to build a nuclear facility. The one thing I did not realize when I decided to do this is the fact that a nuclear facility takes a long time to come online. You'll see that in a minute. And in fact, I actually edited out some footage of me just sitting there waiting for it to come online, and it never, well, it's not that it never did, it just didn't fast enough. So ultimately you'll see me build another wind power facility, which I'll have to, which has to supplement until this facility comes online. And actually, I think ultimately, I think I just realized now that I'm talking about it out loud, that it's very likely that it wouldn't come online because nuclear power probably requires water, and it wasn't getting water, and it wasn't getting water because the water facility had no power. So it's almost like you need another power system in the town to begin with, in order to get the water pumping and provide enough water to the nuclear facility so that the nuclear facility can go online. And then I guess once the nuclear facility is then online, then I guess you can get rid of the whatever the other type of power system was in place, whether it's wind or oil or coal. But I decided to do wind because there's going to be enough pollution in this town as it is, with the mining operation and the smelting operation. And I believe I'm going to be adding a coal mining system, coal mining operation pretty soon as well. Alright, so here comes the power, finally. Just kind of percolates through town, and now we're getting water coming through town. And you can kind of see here where it's still struggling to get enough power it's got some power to smelting, but still not enough to the mining facility, so I had to add a couple more turbines there. And now finally we're slowly starting to get enough power everywhere. But we're now over capacity with our water system, mainly because we're trying to get enough water over to the nuclear facility. So I just kind of maxed out the water pumping station. All right. And we're slowly starting to get water to the nuclear facility now. Yeah, it's still closed. Alright, so building yet another water facility there because still need more water for the nuclear facility. And then at one point I realized, oh wait a minute, the city boundary actually goes across the river. I could actually build out the city over there. So I went ahead and wanted to make sure that we have enough workers in town. So I am building another neighborhood over there and getting rid of all the abandoned buildings that were abandoned during the power outage phase of the town. I think I must have waited like 15 or 20 minutes to see if that nuclear facility would go online, and it didn't. And I just wasn't realizing the correlation of water and things. And now we have enough power, we have enough water, and the nuclear facility is finally online. It was like, duh. So that's actually something that you didn't have to worry about in the old SimCity, and much more realistic, because in real life you definitely have to have enough water if you're going to have a nuclear facility. So there I just expanded the smelting factory, and we're putting in the coal mine now because the smelting factory requires coal. There's a small coal deposit there. There's not a lot, but it should be enough to supply coal initially to the smelting factory. I'm going to be adding a trade depot here in a moment. And so when we run out of coal in the region, then I can always use the trade depot to import coal from other locations. So there we go. There's one trade depot. And trade headquarters. And it's like, uh-oh, there's not enough room here. So I decided, oops, I'm going to go ahead and move my trade depots. That's the one thing you always have to keep in mind in this game, is to make sure that there's enough room for the buildings that you're placing. And it kind of warns you, you know, if there's going to be enough room for everything or not. And you need to make sure that you have enough room to place all of your ploppable extensions to your buildings. The trade depot has a ton of ploppable options in terms of different storage facilities and that kind of thing. You can't plop all of them for each one. If you want to do all of them, you have to actually do multiple trade depots, and I think there's like a maximum of 6 per trade depot. Alright, so I'm kind of letting that city kind of go on its own for a little bit, and I'm coming back here and check on the oil system, and slowly pumping the oil, but ultimately it's like it's not enough. So ultimately I'm gonna end up building a new there we go, a new oil mining operation. And some more pumps there. There we go. So eventually we'll start having enough oil coming out of here to provide resources to the international airport, adding a few other things to this city. This video, I think, at the moment is long enough. I am going to go ahead and sign off, and please join me next week for more adventures in SimCity. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye-bye.